Hey, welcome. My name is Zach Garrett, so I wanted to take an opportunity to go through and talk about the game that you guys played this past week, the Kahoot, on the evaluation of holds. And so I got the data in from all the people who took the opportunity to play that. So I wanted to go through each of the videos, talk about what percentage of the people scored what, and go through why the answer was selected for what it was. I knew there were 5 links, and what I noticed about the links is some of the people who have played the first one, then played the second one, played the third one, etc. So there was multiple people playing the same ones, and your scores certainly increased and got better as you went, though they were the same exact videos in this process. But I want to go through that first one and a little bit with the stats with that, just because I think it's a good learning opportunity. Again, you're going to get a little bit of my opinion in terms of how these are being evaluated. So take it for what it is. Certainly, if you have questions, you can reach out. But I wanted to, this is hopefully something we'll be kind of doing weekly. We begin by having the coaches roundtable kind of discussion, playing the game on the same topic, and then have a Kahoot where you guys are able to play it, and then from there be able to come back and then recap like what everybody did, how everybody did, and what the scores were and why. So that's what I'm going to spend time a little bit doing today. So I'm going to share my screen here and go over to the Kahoot that everybody, those of you that played. So you can see over here the getting started part. And so the first couple slides, just the getting started, what it was, and then the questions. And I think this is an important part here. Pulling this up, this is the questions we really want to ask, and you're watching this, is number one, who was the attacking wrestler? Because that determines whether it's red or blue. But really, questions 2, 3, and 4 are really important. Is it standing or parterre? Is it danger or no danger? And is it considered grand amplitude or not? So you have to evaluate those questions, and your answers to those questions determine what the scores are. So for example, I like to start with the grand amplitude or not, because typically if it's grand amplitude, then your only two choices for scores are either 5 points or 4 points. That's it. There's no other options if it's grand amplitude. The next question that you have to say is, did it go to danger? If it went to danger, it's going to be the higher point value. If it doesn't go to danger, it isn't. Now, danger is defined as going to an elbow, a shoulder, or your head beyond with an angle less than 90 degrees. So even if you expose, but you don't hit an elbow, shoulder, head, that's not considered danger. So that's one thing that we're looking for. And then standing or parterre. And that question is not evaluated from the attacking wrestler's position. That position is evaluated from the defending wrestler. So the defensive wrestler, are they standing or are they in parterre when this action occurs? So we're going to be looking at each of those as we go through each of the videos as we go through that. So first thing up, so the first question here with this video, I will tell you that about 69% of the people scored 2 red in this video. So let's take a look at this video, and I'll try to, potentially play it multiple times here. So playing it again here. This is basically just a takedown. Red makes an attack. Blue, as we watch this, blue does not go to danger. She does not hit an elbow, shoulder, head as she's going down to the ground. So when we watch this, we'll see here, right now, her back may be exposed, but she's not on an elbow, shoulder, or head. So as a result, this is not 4 points. This is only going to be 2 points for red, and then she bellies down. So 2 red for this. And again, that was scored 69% of the time by all the participants. The next one, question number 4. So the correct answer here is 5 blue. And only 37% of the people that played the game scored this as 5 blue. So I want to spend time kind of looking at what this is, and we'll watch this a couple of times. So I think the first question we want to go back and we look at, and we'll go back and rewatch this again, is this considered grand amplitude or not? And one thing that I always typically look for grand amplitude is, do their hips get over their shoulders for the defending wrestler? If their hips are above like this, That's probably grand amplitude. So let's take a look at this video again and see if I can stop it during this time. So you get a lift by blue, and notice the hips of red are over top of their shoulders. So when you have hips over chest, this is a grand amplitude. So now if we know it's grand amplitude, your only two choices for score are either 5 points or 4 points. That's it. And if they go to danger, it's 5. If they don't go to danger, it's 4. So if we watch the end of this, he lands in the danger position. So since he lands in the danger position, that's going to be 5 points for blue. And again, this was only scored 37% of the time by all the participants on the video. So definitely a good one here. The next question here, a good majority of people got this one correct. The correct answer here was 4 red, and 72% of the participants scored that as 4 red. So watching this action here, we'll go back and rewatch this again. So blue makes the initial leg attack. Blue makes the initial leg attack, but red makes a counter attack. So we'll see blue's leg attack here. I'll stop it. So blue makes the attack, but in this process, red makes a counter attack. And what we need to look for is when she started this action, blue was in the standing position. So since blue is in the standing position, she took her directly to danger. So that's going to be 4 points. So not grand amplitude, but we are from standing directly to danger in this counter attack. And she goes to her back. So that's going to be 4 red. And again, a majority of people got that one right. So 72% is pretty good. The next question here, question number 6 here. This one was the best of all the videos in terms of getting this correct. So 4 red was the correct answer, and 83% of the people who took this scored 4 red. So this was pretty good. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Definitely red's action and went from standing directly to danger. So that was a pretty good look. And that's a new technique that's being used a lot, where they kind of start the arm spin, but then take it backwards in the process. So it was an excellent technique by red. But that's going to be 4 red in that scenario. Taking a look at the next one. So let's go to number 7. So this one, the correct answer was 2 red, and only 43% of the people scored this 2 red. So this is actually a really good video to watch. So let's take a look at this. So the first thing is was it grand amplitude or not? And the answer is no, it's not grand amplitude. So if it's not grand amplitude, our only two choices for scoring are either 4 points or 2 points. The next thing we have to look at is, did he go to danger? If he doesn't go to danger, it's not 4 points. So let's watch this video again and see if he goes to danger. Again, remember, danger is hitting an elbow, shoulder, or head. So hitting an elbow, shoulder, or head. Notice, blue does not hit an elbow, shoulder, or head in this process. And because he doesn't hit an elbow, shoulder, head, he doesn't technically go to danger. So this ends up only being 2 points for red. Just because we have a rotation as it goes down doesn't always make it 4 points. In order for it to be 4 points, it has to go to danger. If it doesn't go to danger, it's only 2 points. In this case, this is only 2 points for red. Blue did a nice job of making sure he did not go to danger to only score that as 2. So again, this is a really good video. Watching it again, because this one gets scored wrong more times than not. And you can even see blue was even like, hey, wait a second, this doesn't look right, based on the score. So 2 red is the correct answer there. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one, 50% of the people scored this as 4 red. So let's take a look at it. Going to be a one of the questions we have to ask is, so first of all, was this grand amplitude or not? And the answer is no, it wasn't. So now we're down to 4 points or 2 points. The next question is, did he go to danger? Yes. Then was it from, he went to danger, and this was from the standing position. Now the question is, was this red's attack or was this blue's attack and red made a counter? So let's go back and rewatch this from the start again here. Who's the attacking wrestler in this? Red drops down, gets that body lock. Red dropped down, got the body lock. Blue didn't have anything to do but to try to make an attempt. But in that case, this is red's action, and blue made a panic attack, goes directly to his back. So this is going to be 4 points. And again, red may have been on his knees, but blue was in the standing position when this action started. So it went from standing directly to danger. So this is going to be 4 points for red. All right, the next one. So pretty good majority of people got this right. 68% scored this as for red. So let's take a look at this. It's from the Youth Olympic Games, 2018. Now keep in mind, when we're looking at this, we're looking, first of all, is it grand amplitude? No. So now it's either 4 points or 2 points. So they were in the standing position. The question is, did she go directly to danger? And in this case, she does. It doesn't look like a typical, 4-point action that we think about, but she is standing and then she goes directly to danger. So in this case, it's going to be 4 points. Again, just watching this one more time, you can see here red makes the attack, goes, drives her directly to the danger position. So in that case, it's going to be 4 points for red. All right, next question. So this one was only scored 46% for red. So let's take a look at this as well. So this is a freestyle match. We can already kind of start to see, notice, before we even start the video, where is blue at? Is blue in the standing position or is it in parterre? In this case, blue is in the standing position. So now we're looking at a standing action going directly to danger in this process. So he's down, but now they keep wrestling, notice here. So right now they're in parterre, but watch how they come up to their feet. So now he's up on his feet, and then red kicks it over directly. So in this case, it should be 4 points for red because it was started down. It started in parterre, but then they came to their feet, and then he kicked them over. So it went from parterre, went back up to the standing position, and then from standing directly to danger for 4 points. So the best option there would be 4 points for red. Again, I'll show one more time here, which you can see this is a great picture of right before he kicks them over. So it's a great video there. So notice they're down. And right here he comes up to his feet, and then he kicks him all the way over to his back. So this is clearly red's action. And because they were in the parterre position, they came up to the standing. So it became standing position and then went directly to danger. So that's going to be 4 points for red. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one was, of all the scores, this was the one that was scored based on it being too blue. This is the one that only 21% of the people scored this as too blue. So let me try to explain why I had this scored as too blue. So let's go back to the questions. The first question I have is this considered grand amplitude? And the answer I would say is no. This is not grand amplitude. His hands were touching the mat the whole time, and it wasn't really a good lift. So if it wasn't grand amplitude, that means the only possible score we can have here is either 4 points or 2 points. That's it. So the next question we have to ask is, does red go to danger initially? And so when you watch, he doesn't go directly to danger. he goes to his hands, and then once he gets there, then the wrestler drives him back over to the danger position. So in this case, when you're watching this, let's watch this again. I'll try to stop it here when we get to it. So here we get a lift. It's a nice action. And here we notice he's on his hands here. So this isn't grand amplitude, okay? So his hands are touching the mat, and his hand, he's gonna go hand to hand. Notice how he went hand to hand in this process. So notice, this is not considered danger position. So if this is not grand amplitude, then it can only be 4 points or 2 points. And if he doesn't go to danger, it's only 2 points. And now notice what happens after this is he gets down, and now he drives him back over for the 2 points at the end. So it becomes the same action. So the best scoring for this, in my opinion, would be 2 points for red. Again, the one thing we have to think about is just because you have a lift and a rotation does not make that 4 points. Again, it's got to meet the criteria to score that. All right. So in this case, no grand amplitude. It did not go directly to the danger position. So the maximum number of points here would be 2 points for blue. All right, last two. So the next one here is a freestyle. This one was scored just a little over half. 51% scored this as 2 red. So let's take a look at this action. Again, so one thing we're going to look at is clearly not grand amplitude. So now, what was it in the standing or was it in parterre when it started? So when we go to watch this, in my opinion, he did not lift him completely off the mat before he took him directly to his back. So they have to come to a standing position. In my opinion, that action started like this action starts right here. So he does a chest lock and takes him over. But notice blue was on his knees to start with. Now he comes up in this process, but the action already started, and it started with him on his knees. So unless he lifts him up off the mat, then takes him to his back, going to score this 2 points. Again, there's some certainly difficult situations in this. This wasn't necessarily an easy task as you go through this. And that's kind of what it's designed to do, is to at least get you thinking about what those points are. And know that, yeah, they have to be scored really quickly. So sometimes it's certainly possible to not get these right. Like many times you're going to watch these videos over and over again or pause them. In this case, as a referee, you have to score it immediately. So I would score that only as 2 red. Thought the judge did a great job with that scenario. So I would score that as 2 red because the action started in parterre. All right, the last one here, I set this up as a poll question. And so there really wasn't a right or wrong answer, but I will tell you this. Here's what the percentages were scored. So 55% of the participants that played this game scored this as 4 blue. 27 scored this as 4 blue, 2 red, and then about 8% for the other 2 scores. So let's take a look at this and see what the best answer could be here. So we had everybody scored one of these, 8% for this one, 8% for this one, 55% for 4 blue, and 27% for 4 blue, 2 red. So let's take a look at this and see if we can kind of dissect it a little bit here. This is a match that scored a lot of points. Let's go back and rewatch that again. Try to pause this here a little bit. Now, one thing I want you to notice how red dropped to his knee here in this process. Now, blue makes an action, all right? And blue makes an action, but now, is this considered standing position or is this considered parterre position? So notice we'll keep following this. This is considered parterre because now he's down on one knee. If he's standing, both feet are up. If he's in parterre, this is down. So this is considered parterre now. So let's watch. So they scored this as 4 blue. Now, if you go back and watch, this is a really difficult situation, and maybe the best option here is not even listed, which potentially could be two blue. But I kind of like the two blue, two red option here because blue clearly does make an attempt. Let's go back and watch this again, pull this up. I think of the options, because the action is just now getting started by blue. And notice that red dropped to his knee before he did this because red was making the initial action. So red was dropping down to come to here. Then blue basically chin whips him down to his back. Well, when he does that, he reaches back to grab and then rotates him down. So this becomes blue's move. However, red is down on one knee. So in my opinion, the most points blue can score out of this is going to be two blue because they're in parterre when this action started. So two blue might be here, but watch the very end of this. Red takes him through and goes through because he should stop. If you chin whip and take a guy down, he should go directly to his back and stop. But then red pops him. Again, all you have to do is go beyond 90 degrees, touching an elbow, shoulder, head. So let's see if this happens for blue. And this is tough because he continues to take him through in this process. And this is difficult to see in this process. And I kind of think, could be two blue, two red, I think is the best option here of the grouping that's listed, but maybe just two blue in that process. But definitely a very difficult situation. I think that's the part that I want to just point out is that was not an easy situation to score. And everybody that scored this as something different. And I probably could have put five choices up here if I had five choice options to put up there. Is put up as two blue. But I think the best situation here is this is either two blue, two red, or only two blue, because red's action when blue started this action, red was on one knee. So that essentially removes the 4 points out of it, but it happens so quickly that it's very difficult to see. So that's just a little bit of analysis in terms of how we look and evaluate the matches. Um, Again, this is really just for education and for fun. This is not meant to be a part or look and say, oh, why did the referee score this? It's just to really to kind of help give you an overview of what this, how the points get scored, what the referees are looking for in the process, and knowing that this is not an easy process. And as referees, they have a difficult job because you have to score this really quickly and you don't get a chance to rewatch it unless you get a challenge, and you don't typically get that many challenges. So you have to make a quick decision right away with that. So hopefully this was helpful, just trying to get you started from getting started in this process. And if you have any questions, hopefully, reach out to a referee that's in your area and ask. And hopefully we'll continue to do this process over the next month or 2 months or however long this we're certainly in this quarantine time. So good luck, and good luck on next week's.